We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to
put one together, but happy spring, everyone.
So we'll move on to items by the public. Go right ahead.
Just want to congratulate Denise and her staff on putting out a wonderful 30th anniversary booklet. They all do a nice job. This one's in color, so it makes it even nicer.
Ooh, color. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Those are right over the edge.
That was only the ones I brought here.
Anything else? Jason, you must have something.
Yeah. So on the hospice side, so we're celebrating our 30th anniversary as well. Next Saturday, April 6th, we have our dinner and auction at TMB's. It's a dinner, free auction, silent, live, and luck of the draw. So looking forward to everybody coming out for that. The goal is 30,000. So, and it's the official date of hospice. It was incorporated April 6th, 1989. So we're pretty happy about that. Also, in the next few weeks, we will be the office was sold to a foot doctor who will be opening up, and we'll be moving our office temporarily to the Methodist Church on Dr. Mann, so that'll be up and going hopefully in the next few weeks as well. On the chamber side, we have several events coming up. One of the big ones is Business and Community Open House up to Skowhegan Career and Tech Center, Somerset Career Tech Center next Wednesday night, so hopefully everybody can make it out. Buffet dinner starting at 5:30, program tours, and really learning about what the school has to offer. We also have Business Expo later in the month, a couple grand openings, and business after hours on April 10th. So everybody's invited to come out to any of those things.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, move on to Selectmen's items. Roger.
I'd like to thank everybody for attending the High Wind Maple Fest downtown. It was brutal, but there were people there. They braved the wind, and I especially liked the chainsaw art. That was pretty amazing. My son had an easy up down there that almost went in the river a few times. It was that windy. I thought it went pretty well, considering. So, thanks everybody for attending.
Chief.
Pretty much on the same vein, Greg's crew did an excellent job of preparing the lot for us and cleaning up after us and hanging the electrical lines. So we appreciate that. And walking over here tonight, I appreciate the sidewalk you put in from the swinging bridge, because I was able to walk across there without being ankle deep in mud. So once again, kudos on that.
Thank you. And I have nothing. So we'll move on to department and committee reports. Trish. Caught you by surprise, didn't I? You didn't think I was going to go for her. Usually it's down on this side. Yeah. Gail.
I just want to let everyone know that nomination papers are still available. We have just maybe 3 that have been turned in. So get your papers back by April 12th. And right now we have no one that has taken out papers for overseer of the poor. No, we do, excuse me. We do have one for overseer of the poor, but no one for assessor. So we have absolutely no one for the assessing slot that is open. We have 1 person that's taken out papers for the 2-year position, and we have 4 people that have taken out papers for the 3-year positions. So a couple of weeks left. Come in. We've had people circulate their papers before and get all their signatures in one day, so it's never too late.
Thank you. Randy.
I'm all set. Thank you very much.
Greg?
We got our sweeper delivered, and then they came back and got it for some recalls. So it'll be back in the next week or so we can start sweeping. We're planning on starting on the 8th of April. I met with the contractor for paving, and it looks like we're gonna be starting North Avenue the 15th of May. And the islands, the water company's supposed to start on the island towards the end of April. They haven't given me a definite date yet, but that will start. And then the state will come in the first or second week of May, and hopefully we'll have this all done before Fair Week on the island. But also, we've sent out the bids for paving on 201 and Route 2 from Fairfield to Norridgewock, so we'll be finding out more about that as soon as the bids get approved, and we have the pre-construction meeting on exactly time frame. But right now, it's supposed to be, they asked for 5 months in the bid, so they're hoping to start sometime in June, and hopefully be done by October. But I mean, they won't be in Skowhegan for 5 months. They will be going through. And other than that, things are going good.
Thank you. Denise?
Just to remind you that our brochures are out, a lot of spring, summer programs coming up. I did drop some off on the table there, but they are on our website and at the center. And also, please like us on Facebook as we put, updates on that as well all the time. Just recently, I put something out there to ask people to vote. SCORP is the State Comprehensive Outdoor Rec Plan, and basically that is an inventory locally and statewide of all outdoor recreation facilities, programs, anything like that, and anything new trends that are coming in the next 10 years. That's a federal mandated funding that comes from the state of Maine for the Land and Water Conservation Fund, which we get money for. So there is a survey on there. I asked people in the community, this is the first time they're putting out for the audience, community audience, to give us their input. I have applied for LWCF funding, and that does help us receiving grants as far as the SCORP goes, putting in there for points with LWCF grants. So just to give everybody an idea, the tennis court construction was done with that funding, the multi-purpose park, the outdoor courts, the skate park at the community center, South Factory Street recreation area was done. Memorial playground was also done. So I just, go on Facebook, just hit the link. It'll probably take you 10 minutes, but that'll be helpful as far as going after some grant funding and to see, what happens if you do the survey. There's items in there that programs or facilities, and that helps us when we go out for grant money if it's in the SCORP. Just wanted to let you know that's on there. Other than that, looking forward to snow melting to get the outside facilities open. So be patient. Some of the tar and stuff will be showing. People want to get on there. Once it melts, we'll do maintenance as best we can. Hurry up with the courts open all outside, and then it'll take a little bit for the ball fields. But I have my crew. My summer crew doesn't get on until mid-May, so I only have one maintenance staff right now, full time, and then just my regular staff and I will get out there and help when we can. But just wanted to let everybody know we'll post that as soon as everything's open.
Thank you. Chief?
All set, so thank you.
Jeff?
I just want to remind people that we have got the new online tax maps up on the website. If anyone has any issues or problems with it, they can call in. We can see if we can track any problems or stuff and try to clean up any issues that people are having and stuff. So just want to put it out there to give us a call at the office.
Thank you. Chief?
Just a couple things. It is spring, and so we have to talk flood potential. This year we are running a little above average for potential of flooding, but so far things are going in the right direction, meaning warm days, cold nights, that's keeping things in check. Things are melting slowly, the river looks pretty good. Talked to the EMA director today, he said Sandy and Carabasset look good as far as ice conditions, things are looking up there. In Kennebec, we're open down, as of yesterday, it was open all the way down to just before the boat launch on Route 2. So things are going in the right direction. However, you know, the snowpack is just about what they call right, meaning it's holding as much water as it can right now. And if we have a rain event, it's going to be releasing water, not absorbing water. And the longer this cooler weather holds on, and we still have snow, the bigger chance for a sudden warm up in a rain event, and then more flood potential. So we're not out of the woods yet, but we are moving in the right direction. And secondly, the Skowhegan Area Middle School Wrestling Team, they took first at the Pine Tree League Championships this weekend, so making up by that team. That's all I have.
Thank you. Brian?
How's that thing?
And Betty, did you have anything?
No,
Okay. I just wanted to give you a chance.
thank you.
All right. We'll move on to the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a first and second on the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Passes 4-0. Move on to the regular agenda. Discussion decision to increase the Second Bridge Committee to 10 members and appoint Joel Greenwood to the committee with a term expiring June 30th, 2019.
So moved. Second.
We have first and second. Any further discussion?
Chairman York, I need, if you don't mind, I need clarification as to how the members are being chosen for this committee. The background here is there were 10 applicants to be on the committee originally, and some committee decided that they only wanted a 9-member committee at that point, so the 10th person was excluded, and now to see this on the agenda is a little questionable at best. So I'd like at least someone from the committee to maybe explain.
I can tell you as far as this particular person,
Yes.
we thought originally that he was going to be on the committee as a whole, but through the state, and that wasn't the case. So we pulled him over onto this, well, that's why it's on here today, to see if, to pull him over on our side, because being on the planning board, we felt that he needed to be there. And we just thought he was going to be there, but on the other side, so to speak, and not part of this committee. So, and when that didn't happen, that's why he's before us now.
I think Joel being on the committee is
So,
a great idea.
but that's where that came from. I know originally there was from way back when, there was like a lot of people on the committee, and we just felt that was a lot of people. So they wanted to narrow it down, and that was just the number they chose, and that's all I know about it, if you want to add to that. I mean, I don't know if that answers your question, or if you're looking for,
The original.
I'm saying, as I asked to be on that committee, I would be the only technical advisor on that committee. I do bridge design. I also work on traffic control, traffic design. There are no other professionals on that committee. As a matter of fact, most of them are economic, from an economic standpoint. Joel, I think, would be the only other one, maybe Greg, that has municipal planning, has some background. No one else, I think, does. The fabric of that committee, I guess I just watched this happen in Wiscasset, and where the committee was almost designed exactly where this committee is, and they basically got eaten alive. And to see that happen here in this town would be frustrating to me. I know I voiced to a couple of the members that I know are on board my biggest concern when this whole procedure's done, whether it's 2 years from now, 10 years from now, and that concern is still out there as far as I'm concerned. And I don't think the committee, as it it stands right now, has the firepower to go up against the bridge department of the DOT. I'm saying that statement quite bluntly, I deal with them a lot. They're a different group than the planning committee or the roads committee or any of that. They're a different group of they talk technical. And no one on that committee can talk technical. So.
Do you want to answer anything else? I'm not
I
really sure.
didn't, I mean, I didn't have any input, any more input. I mean, I don't know if this board wants to add another member. I know at the committee level, when it was mentioned to add Joel, I specifically asked the question if we wanted to increase that number to 11 instead of 10, and the committee said no.
So what would be the,
I think there were 15 committee members.
17 last time.
17 last time? We thought that was too many.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it's a lot of people.
It's almost like school board.
And I asked to be on it because of the selectmen's needs to be on it, really. Betty's on it. Betty works in Augusta with Transportation Department.
So, so to keep raising the questions then when that committee comes to a decision, that committee then brings that decision back to the select board, would that be a correct statement? Because it would be the select board that actually would be the one dealing with the state, or would it be the committee dealing directly with the state?
There will be meetings for townsfolk as well.
That's not my question. The question is, are you a voting member on that committee, and then a voting member here at this level, and then a voting member at the transportation committee level, and then a voting member at the full?
The transportation committee isn't going to vote specifically on this bridge, or lack of a bridge.
Funding wise, that would be on your plate?
Not necessarily, no. No.
But, I mean, selectmen serve on almost all of our committees. And so they do have a vote in the committee and at the board level. That's not abnormal, that's actually the norm.
I mean, I guess what I would suggest, because I don't want to step on that committee's toes. So you're saying that you're throwing out, that you would like to be on this committee. Is that correct?
I have expressed that.
Okay.
Prior to
So,
committee formation, I'm expressing that.
so I guess what I suggest that the next time that committee meets is to throw that out there through that committee and see what that committee decides what they want to do, if they want to add that 11th person, and then we'll go from there. So, I just don't feel that this board should step on that committee's, so we'll do that. Jason?
I'm just curious, so can we, being part of that committee, so can we just do an email vote and bring, and then we can bring back to the next meeting potentially? Instead of waiting until the next official committee meeting to do that?
Makes sense.
I could certainly reach out to the committee.
Figure that way instead of, to help Steve so he's not hanging in limbo until who knows when our next meeting.
Works for me.
Okay.
So we'll do it that way, and then we'll see what that committee.
Did you want to provide something in writing?
I can certainly.
So send me an email,
Okay.
and then I'll forward that to the committee. Okay?
You also have my signature from, I actually sat with you to discuss the committee before it's formed, so you actually have my signature
I don't,
as well.
you gave me something in writing before?
Yes, same day that Rod did, yes.
Okay.
But we'll do it that way. That way we'll be, to be fair, and then we'll see what they, what they want to do, and we'll go from there. So,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
all right. We haven't voted on this yet, have we? I don't think so. Yeah. All those in favor? We got sidetracked there. All right. Discussion decision to approve the union contract between the town of Skowhegan and the International Association of Firefighters from July 1st, 2019 through June 30th, 2022.
So move.
Second.
We have first and second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Passes 4-0. And I would like to say, that negotiation did go very smoothly, and it was just nice to see that, it wasn't dragged out, and everybody come to an agreement and was happy with the outcome, and we're moving forward. Discussion decision to accept a donation to the fire department in the amount of $7,708.75 from Brookfield Renewable to purchase communications headsets for Engine 10.
So move.
Second.
We have a first and second. Want to just explain what that is?
Just to explain this, if you've ever been in or seen in a movie the headsets that you wear in like in a helicopter or a small plane, the headsets with microphones that everybody in the engine can communicate with each other, and they can also communicate over the radio with dispatch. So same idea. So they're noise canceling headsets, very loud in a fire engine, and guys in the back seat can't really communicate with the officer in the front seat without screaming. And this eliminates that. You can just have normal conversations where you can actually receive and send messages, and it works out pretty well.
Is it something Brookfield normally does for us? Something
They
new?
donated, the last time they donated for us to buy our boat that we purchased a few years ago. So
Yeah.
every once in a while, they like to give back to the community. They have a program that allows them to give back to communities. And they like to work with fire departments. So we had an opportunity to do that. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anything further? Seeing none, all those in favor? Passes 4-0. Discussion decision to expend an amount not to exceed $3,830 from the Administrative Reserve Account Information Technology Improvements Designation for conduit and cable upgrades at the municipal building and the community center.
So move.
Second.
We have a first and second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Passes 4-0. Discussion decision to award the Route 2 bypass lane extension bid. The following bids were received. Ranger Contracting, $179,952.50. And Mantor Construction, $185,734. Denise LeBlanc recommends awarding the bid to Ranger Contracting with a total bid amount not to exceed $179,952.50.
So move.
Second.
First and second.
Ranger, right? Okay.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Did he say all the rest of it?
Huh?
I
Did he
did.
say all the rest of it?
I
You didn't
did.
read all the rest of it.
He cut me off.
So
Sorry.
as written?
As
Still
written.
has written. I know what he meant. You probably get tired of hearing me. I don't know.
Just want to make sure we get the expenditure approved.
Okay, discussion decision to allow Chief Bucknam to put 15 AR-15s rifles out to bid.
So move.
Second.
First and second, any further discussion?
Chief,
Sir,
why 15?
15 gives each of the officers that are employed here with the town of Skowhegan their own individual rifle, which they'll be accountable for. They're able to qualify and train on that particular piece of property or weapon system, and it removes the 1960s Vietnam-era rifles out of the patrol cars where currently officers share those rifles. This will cut down liability for the town in the event that there's any issues, and because the individual officer will be assigned that weapon system, zero to that particular weapon system, just like it would be anywhere else.
So what are we using now for a long gun?
Right now, we're using a 1960s vintage Vietnam AR-15 that we have from the U.S. government. So we're returning those and replacing them with the new ones.
I see. Thank you. That it?
Why this kind of rifle?
It's replacing the rifle that we have now with an updated, more durable, and newer weapon system. Right now, you're looking at 40, 60 plus 70 years rifle sitting in a car out there right now. It's been used.
No, my question isn't really, it's like, why this kind of rifle? I understand we needed to upgrade.
This
Yeah.
particular rifle, which everybody talks about on the internet and everything else, what they don't talk about is what really is about this rifle. That rifle operates at around 3,000 feet per second compared to 800 to 1,000 feet per second as a 45 caliber on all of our hips from the police department. What that means is it cuts down on less penetration. So when we're utilizing that rifle, it's not going through walls, it's not going through car doors or anything of that nature as our handguns were. Number two, that particular rifle is well tested, well proven throughout for years with the military and law enforcement agencies themselves. They're very accurate, so that when we talk about that liability, the officers, when they have to utilize that rifle, they're utilizing it with the utmost confidence that that bullet's going to go where they're putting it. So that's why.
Thank you.
Anything further? Seeing none, all's in favor? Passes 4-0. Discussion regarding the following draft ordinances: the obscenity and adult entertainment ordinance, parades and procession ordinance, and special amusement ordinance.
So in your packets, the obscenity and adult entertainment ordinance, if you recall from our joint meeting, the thought was to combine the adult entertainment business ordinance with the obscenity ordinance. Just, that's a short title for it because it has a very long title. Let me see. So I discussed this with Joel since this was submitted to us to put forward to you, and I needed a reminder and some clarifications, but I think that this did the job of what we were discussing. However, I believe there was also potentially a request to add the ability for businesses to sell obscene devices. Is that your understanding as well?
Yeah, I think so. If the intention was to allow certain businesses, or even certain, not even businesses, but certain kind of promotional events, one-off, well, like occasional promotional events at even private residences in different places. As written, it still wouldn't allow those kind of things to go on. So I'm not sure if perhaps the will of the people that may want to see this change would actually be fully enacted if it was put through as currently written. It really depends on. I mean, this was what the planning board got to a point where they were feeling like we'd made some changes, but upon our review, depending on how you look at it in terms of what it still allows and disallows, it still obstructs certain avenues of business and events that might still want to be allowed. If that makes sense.
So but I think where we left it at our joint meeting, this is probably what the intent that the selectmen had asked for, correct? I think that this ordinance as written meets the intent of the selectmen, which was to combine the two ordinances and then to remove the offense if an individual possesses 6 or more. So I believe that's where we had left it at our joint meeting. Any questions from the board on this ordinance?
Section 5(1)(c). Is that,
That's what I'm saying, if someone wanted to sell obscene devices, they wouldn't be able to with that paragraph. As well as the paragraph before it. Matter of fact, all 3 paragraphs there.
yes.
So I'd just be looking for, you know, if the selectmen want to put this for the town meeting the way that it is, or if you want to allow them to work on that any further to allow for individuals and or businesses to be able to sell obscene devices.
I say present it as it is, and the townspeople are gonna tell us what they wish to see, I guess.
I think that there were questions like not being sure about what this meant for for business that Jason might like to speak to.
No, I was just asking Joel. So, I've met with Christine, and I've talked to Joel. Would the board be inclined to look at these at the next meeting so that we can revisit it with the planning board to still go forward and doing with it? Let them work on it one last time to try and address a couple of these concerns to help not just the people, but the businesses in the community.
I believe that Jason had expressed a desire to make some changes to this one as well as the special amusement ordinance.
Correct, we had some misunderstandings on that, so my request to the selectmen, and everybody, but is that we can kick that back to the planning board to meet next, I think it's next Tuesday.
We'd have to do it really quickly, because we'd have to get any changes done submitted the day after, is that right, Christine?
2 days after the
2
meeting.
days after, okay, which is possible if we come away with a consensus, but there's no guarantee that we would.
Just so that the planning board can all be on board with what the concerns are, and everybody's on the same playing field, and then get it submitted back to your next selectmen's meeting. So that'd be my request regarding, so we have seen, obscenity, adult entertainment ordinance, and special amusement ordinance, please.
I'm good with that.
I am too, because I think maybe we need some clarity.
I'm assuming we're all in agreement with that.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
So the third ordinance there, the parades and processions, I believe after our joint meeting, Jason had expressed his desire to allow for these applications to be approved in a quicker manner than the regular selectmen's meeting schedule. So they made a couple of different changes in there, primarily section 6, which allows assuming that I'd be the designated agent, that would allow me to call you individually in regards to an application that is not received in a timely manner. And then I could approve said application without waiting for a selectmen's meeting. For example, Jason, you had something that came up.
Chairman, okay with that? So on that, basically, we had a Island Dairy Treat last year. They're involved with the car show, and that's just one example. So we found out, we got confirmation Thursday night that the car show could come to town. Well, the problem is Island Dairy Treat's not a very big parking lot, so you need town property and to use where the Federated Church parking lot is. So that was on a Thursday. You guys had met on Tuesday. It wouldn't meet until the following Tuesday, so we kind of skimmed it. But that in an instance like that, we'd be able to say, present that, pay the fee or whatever to Christine or to the town, and say, okay, can we do this with a quick turnaround, 24 hours, 72 hours notice? It's not the way that we want to operate, but if an instance like that does occur, it doesn't just to give the town manager or the appointed person that authorization to call you guys and say, yeah, go ahead, we understand why this short time frame and all.
Which I guess I don't have a problem with that, but I just don't want it to get to the point where people thinking that we're just gonna bypass the process that we have in place, which on the most part works. That they just think spur of the moment, now we're just gonna, you know, especially if there's other things that, you know, the town needs to kind of gear up for or whatever, you know, so that would be a concern.
Quite often there's a discussion with Greg in regards to those parking lot uses. If it's anything having to do with traffic, we're also consulting with the police chief depending on how large the crowd, so as well. So there are several things that go through the process of approval for application of parades and processions. And we have all those discussions typically ironed out before it gets to selectmen. So, something like a car show, it's possible, you know, that I'd be able to consult with Greg and then contact all of you to approve that ahead of time.
I think if it became a concern, simple no, and it has to go in front of the selectmen, it would be the same, get the same result. It's either yes or no.
But I think that it says, is a reasonable need for expediting it. So I think that everybody's not going to have that need. And it certainly is a way to tell people they can't do that unless it's kind of an emergency.
Everybody's gonna need.
For instance, Jason, if the chamber every year does a certain event, then you need to get that in on a timely manner. And you not getting it in on a timely manner would not be a reason. So,
Well,
just using you as an example,
well, no,
not that you would
I
do
mean,
that.
well,
Yeah.
Moonlight Madness, we know that it's gonna happen. I wouldn't be filing it 2 days before the event. Actually, the paperwork will be in hopefully very soon for that, in the summer. But, I mean, and I think a lot of the people that do the events and different things in town, do that in a timely manner now. I don't think that'll change. I think it's just those certain situations that we don't know about in time.
Did Randy have something? Did you have something? No.
No, thank you.
I thought I saw you.
Oh, come on, Randy, say something.
But Jason's right, a simple no will put the kibosh on.
But to Paul's point too, you know, you give an inch, take a mile, word gets out.
That's what I say, a simple no.
Sounds easy, but, okay. I'm okay with it, but that was just throwing that out there. I don't want it to become it's like, well, I can get it in anyway, and type deal, so.
So if you are all good with putting this forward, if and when the planning board has an amendment to these other ordinances, we'll ask you at the next meeting to put that forward for a public hearing. So this one, we're all pretty happy with this change?
Yes,
Okay. All
at
right.
least I am.
Would Paul be happier if we put stronger language about it being an emergency?
No, I'm okay with it, I just don't, I'm just throwing that out, I just don't want to see it become a, you know, just a,
Yeah.
you know, a problem. I don't wanna create, you know, try to solve a problem and create another problem. That's basically what I'm trying to avoid. So what else have that?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, treasurer's warrants to be approved in the amount of $1,403,594.94.
So moved.
Second?
With first and second, all in favor? Passes 4-0. Any other business? Seeing none, unfinished business, where do we stand with any of those?
Vehicle charging stations, we do have, Campaign Earth offers seed funding and networks to jumpstart local renewable energy projects, often new installation of the things we're talking about. So I don't know if we.
Campaign Earth, you said?
Yep, I can
that-
send you an email.
That'd be great.
Yep, because we're talking about these charging stations. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, I know we've had a lot going on, but I mean, I think this is something that we probably should jump on sooner than later. I don't think it's a bad thing.
I think it's a good thing.
I'm not
That
gonna
way
buy,
my kid-
I'm not gonna buy an electric car, but hey, it's a good thing, but, some people will, but.
That way my kid doesn't
Yeah.
come home and stay for 3 days while he's charging.
Randy,
Ah,
do you know when they're starting that work up there?
I think, with the permitting this spring.
Okay.
So, and I think there's 10 charging stations going up to Hampton.
so anything further? So we will sign documents and adjourn meeting and